Okay, a little impromptu broadcast here. Pittsburgh, Wamia are in the second half. 10-3 Wamia leads. I'm just going to do a little switching around here. I'm outdoors, by the way, so you might hear some birds and things. Okay, here we go. So Wamia is on a 3rd and 10 here. I think they've been pretty sharp on third down so far today, but fall short there. 4th and 4. Going to invite people in. Commenting there on the troubles of Olandis Gary in the first half. And how difficult it is for him to sort of get going. And there you go, 9 carries, 11 yards. And so it's just tough for an offense. Yeah, I had him ranked up a bit high, and I didn't mind the pick. But, now I look at it, he boom or bust all the way. Very boom, very bust. So far, bust today. Waiting for him to break out is Ron here. Back to him, sets up a 3rd and 8 with 2 carries to Gary. Guessed wrong. On Gary's card. That's tough to deal with. Rich Gannon is a very effective QB, but he only goes 2 through 5, which is good, by the way. But to get 8 yards is a challenge on his must run. You see Gary out here. Roan is in as the fullback against this strong pass rush of Wamia. Some baby in the neighborhood crying. Here's a short pass to Roan. He misses him. 4th and 8. "45-yard kick puts the Wind in a good spot here at their own 43. Jim Miller, accurate quarterback. This is just a interestingly constructed team, Linebook. Guessed right. No gain on the 4 white die. You got Jim Miller, who's a very good guessed wrong short passer. Good enough, guessed right. Good receivers, this great Indianapolis line, and then Marshall Faulk. So this offense has ways. Here's a long pass, guessed right. Incomplete, just misses Miller's long gain right completion. Miller has a pick. It was the last play of the first half. I actually didn't see it. It was on a flat pass, I believe, but obviously not taken back. 4 wide here, and fullback now, as Pittsburgh gets to the 3rd and 10, up against this stout Indianapolis line. Short pass, Chacos Green, he's correctly doubled. And that's going to be tough sledding for Miller, incomplete. Just happy to avoid the INT. 4th and 10. And a 32-yard punt. And a 16-yard return, so that's just 16, and Pittsburgh finds itself in good field position now with 6:18 left, third quarter. And now we see Terrell Davis check in. I recall he does not have a particularly strong card, but maybe just better on first down to get you a couple. Yeah, for sure. Guess wrong. Davis, going to get 5. On the defensive card, 2nd and 5. Davis was injured that year, only had a few carries. Let's see. 67 rush attempts on the season. Davis stays in the game, 2nd and 5. Flat pass Davis. He's going to get 9. Guessed right on his guard. And a first down for Pitt. So Davis has an instant impact, and now Gary checks back in. Oh, shoot. Okay. I hope all that broadcast. And run for Gary. His woes continue. Loss of 1. Make it a gain of 1. 2nd and 9. Just needs to hit 1. Does Gary, and all is forgiven. But you can't keep on giving the ball back. Long pass, Glenn. Nobody back there. Guessed right. He hits his long game for 34. Up to the 10. So would you like more in that long game? Sure. You get in the end zone? Sure, but didn't happen. Gary shows up in the backfield here. Don't know if he'd be your best guy. He's a home run hitter. You want him out past the 50. But let's see if he can chew up some yards here. Here's an off tackle. Gary, nobody home. He gets 4. That's healthy. 2nd and 6. 2nd and goal from the 6. Full house now with Gary and Davis. Lorenzo Neal's your blocker. Short pass. Pass rushes in, but he completes it. Only a 16% chance, and it's a touchdown. Jackie Harris hauls it in. Extra point is from Jason Elam. The kick is good. 2 through 12. And we are tied at 10. 3 minutes left. We got a good one. So back to Miller. He's got elevated INTs, and he has a 12 snap fumble. So just got to hope they don't show up at inconvenient times. If you're Wamia looking past, Toomer against a 0. He gets 5. Toomer, a good receiver, has maxed out short pass at least. No time to look at the rest of the card. 2nd and 5. Falk and Sellers, short pass. Hilliard, he's not doubled up. 3 men in zone. Guess right. 11 yards on Miller's card. So you see the INT on 10, 2 through 6. And boy, have I seen a lot of there's a looking pass gets wrong. 10 yards up to midfield. Seen a lot of short pass 10s for Steve Berline in particular in watching games. But as long as it doesn't happen to Jim Miller, me will be okay. Short pass Hilliard. Can he avoid that 10? He cannot, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. So disaster averted. We've seen Pittsburgh go after Miller here with a lot of blitzing. Don't think he's gotten there up against these 7s. Looking pass. Man is there 4. It's going to Falk. Almost intercepted again on the 10. Ooh, the short pass would have been picked. But the flat pass gets a yard, or looking pass gets a yard. 3rd and 9. From the 49. 4-1-6 formation. Linebacker Falk. Man is behind to contain. He's a 4. And it's stopped. Again, the white die stymies Falk on the linebacker 2. And Wamia's going to have to punt. Coffin corner. It's going to put Pitt at the 22. 14:06 left. Off tackle Gary, no gain. Searching for that 11 or 2 or 3 or 10. Terrell Davis checks in. It's nice if you can get in Gannon's sort of must-run sweet spots. Short pass, incomplete, 3rd and 10. Pittsburgh staring at a quick 3 and out here. Can Gannon come up with the completion? Pushes Wamia to a 3-man front, which helps with the pass rush. Those 2 7 guards are nice too, though. Yes, Harris. He's not double teamed, just 3 yards on the must run. And it's going to be a punt. .47 yards plus 7 puts Wamia back to the 21. We've seen so much good field position so far in this set, but these two teams dealing with long fields lately here. Pro set, linebuck, Falk, that's where he thrives. Can he find his short gain? He cannot. 4 yards. Yeah, that's 0 center. Not the best matchup for Marshall Falk. Not the best pairing for Marshall Falk and his strong linebuck is this 0 center. Trying to find it again. On this 2nd down. I think that's the play call again, right? A snap fumble. There's a snap fumble. It shows up. I'm going to try to do something with it. Nope, just sits on it. And ends up with a 3rd and 7. Why does it say first down? I'm confused. Oh, we were out of sync. Where did the first down come from? Step away for a second, and weird stuff happens. See if the play log catches it. 2nd and 6. Oh, now we have a pick. It's on the defensive card on the 4. I assume it's look in. It is. And got to return to the 24 as the game is giving us a little bit of trouble here, but Miller's 2nd pick of the day. And that goes to the defense, though, but some of that bad stuff is showing up here for Miller, whether it's directly his fault or not. Certainly the snap fumble was. Let's take a look at that snap fumble. It was on the 9, so a lot of guys would not fumble that one. 2nd and 10 after incompletion. 9:54 left. Off tackle Gary. Gets just a yard. Now 14 carries, 20 yards for Lennox Gary. And immediately we've got a 3rd and long here. As Ramia tries to limit the damage. It's from the 23, so it might just be looking to set up field goal range here with Davis. Bracket up to the 22 or better. Let's see. Does go short, flat pass. Everybody's staying home. Gets the short gain, 18 yards to the 5. Wow, clutch throw there from Gannon. Tough one for the D. Looked like Pitt was content with the field goal, but now they find themselves first and goal. Non-blitzing 4-3. Off tackle guessed wrong. Going to get 3 yards down to the 2. The wrong side. It's average for Omea. So there's yards to be had in there. Keyed the wrong guy. Gary scores. 2 through 12 for Elam. He knocks it through 17-10, about halfway through the fourth quarter. Can't get much on the return out to the 24. So after opening up a lead to start the game, Omea had a few chances to make it a 2-score game or more, I believe. Couldn't get it done, and now they find themselves down 7. Looking pass against the 0. Another snap fumble from Miller. Yeah. Another 9 on the snap fumble number. And this time Pittsburgh gets it. So Pitt with a chance to open up a 2-score lead of their own. It's Gary in the backfield. It's an end run to Gannon. It's a real weapon of his, but only 2 yards. It's a nice looking end run. And I worked on that a little bit before they into the rankings a bit better. And I won't go into all the details, but it elevated Gannon to 6th overall. The end run brought him an additional 0.2 yards per play expected. After an incompletion, we have 3rd and 8. Important blitz coming here. That might scare Pittsburgh away from doing a short pass here. Trying to stay in this zone where they feel better about getting their lead. There's another end run again, and he's going to get 7 yards, contained. So now it's 4th and 1, and Pittsburgh will kick. And they do. Elam from 31 hits it. 2 through 9 hits it, and it's a 20-10 game. Only 4:30 left. Pathways exist. Yes, they do for Wamia. Let's take a closer look at Falk's home run potential. Every column, but you might want to move to the off tackle and then run more. Looking for that long gain. Goes 4 wide. Starts off with a flat pass to Falk. He gets 4. Let's take a closer look at that. So guess strong only. It's 2nd and 6. Maybe through that flat pass to set up an end run here. Keep those linebackers back. Indeed. Here's the end run. Gets the 4 roll. Not what he needed. Sets up now 3rd and 8. .354 left fourth quarter. We may have pinned into a difficult spot here. Goes short pass. Falk. Can't bring it in. On his receiver card, 4th and 8. Falk with a good short pass column. But not that good. 4th and 8 now. We see Sellers check in. That's another 7 to the lineup. He can go deep as well. Good linebackers, though, on coverage. As you can see there, Jaravicious is the only 0. Going to Hilliard. He's not double-teamed. Needs this completion. Can he get it? He cannot. A 24% sack comes in. Pittsburgh takes over, and looks like Pittsburgh's going to go on to the win here, barring a miracle. Interesting comeback win. Let's take a look at the box here, because I forget the exact sequence of scoring. Yeah, when we had this 10-0 lead to open it up, we could not get past that. Obviously, still stuck on 10. The snap fumble is hurtful. Some people say, 50% chance. Well, and I do this now in the expected yards. You got to penalize a loss of 2 on those plays when you don't recover. And that can really set you back, put you off schedule. So it's not just the snap fumbles you lose that hurt you. 3rd and 5. See again with a 3.6 snap fumble. Wouldn't have fumbled either of those. As we near the 2-minute warning, we'll get there after this play. 3rd and 5. Off tackle, Terrell Davis. He's going to get 6, and that will probably do it. At least burn through him. He has timeouts here. Stays in the full house. We'll stick around for a little interview if they'd like to join. Here. Mia letting the clock go here. Down to 32nd. And that'll do it. Pittsburgh comes back from 10-0 down to win 20-10. Looks like Larry will join the broadcast here at some point. Hopefully we get Ron too. We'll see. Let's take a look at ball possession. Punt, interception, punt, interception, fumble downs. After 2 of 3, also fumbled, I guess, before. That was a receiver fumble, which is not high for Jim Miller. It was 1 out of 6 chance, and that hit. And he lost it, and it was in the red zone. 59-yard drive. It's one drive of over 50 yards for Pitt. Interesting. Able to capitalize on turnovers for 10 points. Hey, Larry.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're broadcasting.
Yeah, I just came on for the second half.
Oh, okay.
And I almost didn't. I mean, I thought, like Ron, I thought you had a good chance of running away with it, and the wheels fell off. Um, and it's just, I guess, I mean,
Well, I had the
I don't know, it's
fumble in
just
the
part of the
first.
team, I suppose, right?
Yeah, in the first half, I had a fumble with Falk down like around their 10 or somewhere around there after reception. And that was when I was already ahead like 10-0 or something. It looked, I think so, and it looked like I was in really good shape. And then that kind of hurt that. And then later, those losing a couple fumbles. The snap fumbles like is starting to hurt with
Yeah,
Miller that you kind of predicted.
yeah. One thing you can't predict though is that fumble you mentioned. You were up 7-0. You had gotten the ball somehow, some way in good field position. I forget how, and you were down to about the 10-yard line, and it's just a 1 of 6 receiver fumble,
Right, right,
and so that's not one that you can really put against Miller, because he does a pretty good job there with the inherited
right,
receiver
right.
fumble. But that was just that was some bad luck. But you came back, got the 10-0 lead, and then in the second half, just could not get um, could not get the points. I mean, if
Well,
you
one
take a look
thing.
at,
Oh, so go ahead.
go ahead, please.
I was gonna say one thing is like I'd kind of used Falk more than I wanted to running, and so I was trying to conserve some of his carries,
Hmm.
and so that's why I think it hurt me a little bit of moving the ball because I was trying to avoid running him as much.
How many carries does Falk give you?
Shoot, I'm not sure, like high 20s or
High
something.
20s, yeah, yeah. And he was up at like 15 or something. I noticed. I quickly know. I didn't say I was watching the game at that point, but yeah, I noticed he was up at like 15 in the first half, right, somewhere in that range.
Right, and then
Yeah.
it got down into like 8 in the third quarter, and so I had to like really. I forget exactly when it got down to 8, but once I'd used that many in the first half, and I felt like I just had to go away from him a little bit on the running.
Your defense did a good job. I was noting before. I mean, the only just one drive over 50 yards, and the rest was just short fields.
Right, right.
And your defense, I mean, for an average D, I tell you, your defense looks really good with the pass rush. How does it feel playing it? And by the way, was this your first game?
Huh, no, I'm 0-4.
0-4. No kidding.
Yeah,
No kidding.
I've had some bad luck and had some just different thing. It just hasn't worked out.
Hmm.
Or I'm doing well for a while and then the wheels have fallen off. But
Yeah. So what are you seeing when you're playing? How's the team playing? I mean, how does it play from a strat perspective?
I think it's mostly the coach is all fucked up. So I'll leave that as the answer. I
Well,
think I don't. I was kind of going into this thinking, okay, I could do the 4-3 with this kind of team, but I guess the 4-3 is just it's still harder for me to work it. I'm not as good at it. I mean, I have some good stretches with it, but I think I'm better off with playing a 3-4.
hmm. Well, it's an intimidating pass rush. And I mean, and your offense. See, as long as your offense doesn't hurt itself, it's a really nice setup.
Yeah.
You
Well, I guess
know.
the last game was frustrating. That I guess it was the last game. I forget who I was playing, but I have a much better pass rush. But their pass rush was getting to me a lot more with
Hmm.
a less of a pass rush. You know, getting sacks at 27%, and where I have like some pretty high numbers, and it wasn't getting to people as much as I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. Well, I noticed that today that Ron was coming after you. Damn those sevens. He was sending those linebackers often,
Right, right.
and just sort of lining up a bunch of 20s. Maybe spot a 30 here and there, um, and going after. And I was like, well, that's kind of courageous. And I don't know if he ended up with one or not. Let's see here.
I think he
Sack.
did. Yeah, a
Yeah,
couple.
yeah, a couple. Yeah, 2-2. Interesting. Interesting. I remember that one year I had first year I played. Um, summer sprint or anything like this was the 89, I think. And I took Miami. I didn't know what I was doing. I took Miami early with all those sevens, major
Oh, right.
differentiator of the line. And I found that too. I found that my sevens, even though the sevens have a major impact, I mean, it's a major upgrade over the five. People are still coming after me, and I'm still getting sacked. I mean, I certainly won the sack battle in the season, but it did not pay off as much as I thought it would. But the numbers tell you that it should pay off more than that. So it's a matter of
Right.
luck.
See, here's the thing on my sacks, yardage loss through 4 games. I've had I've got sacked 7 times for 51 yards, and the opponent's 537.
Wow.
And that's where I was expecting. I guess that's really the key. Where I was
Can you
expecting
go?
my pass rush to be more impactful, it hasn't been.
Can you go over your Stratomatic report for your team and tell me what the double team percentages are, offense and defense? I mean, because the double team will bring it up. If you're losing your double team, if you have a double team deficit in terms of margin, successful double teams, and that can certainly affect it too.
Uh, which
Uh,
how do I find that
so
one?
in your team, go to report Stratomatic report,
Okay.
and then I'll do it here with you. Although I'm not going to have um, the same games,
Okay.
of course. So summer sprint, 99.
Oh, okay. Stratomatic report. All right.
Mia Ports team Stratomatic report, and then you're right here, double teamed percentage right here. Um,
I had for all passes, I had 17 correct out of 76 for 22%. For all plays, 17
on
out of
offense,
1.
offense, you're 22%.
That's the offense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a huge number. That's a huge number. That'll do it. That's a bit. That is an outsized number. That's as big as number I've ever seen. What is your defense show? Double team. So go scroll down to defense. Double team. All plays percentage. Going down to defense. Double teamed. Right there.
Okay. It's all passes was 14%.
Yeah. Well, that's a good number. So you're double teaming well, but man, your opponents are double teaming the shit out of you, and that brings up the sack percentages.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, still 7 to 5. That's insane. With me having like a really, really good pass rush.
Yeah, it's true. But that 22% number is eye popping. You know
Oh,
that
okay.
that yeah that's going to bridge. I don't know how much of the gap it bridges, but it's going to bridge some of it for sure. That's interesting. They double teaming Tumor a lot, I imagine, or whoever the who's off the sick.
Yeah, Tumor and of course Marshall Falk too.
Well, I mean, uh, maybe because the
But
thing about your team that I really like is those Washington tight ends and fullback sellers and whatnot. So you got options. You got options.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to Dennis updating the league. I'd be curious to take a look at your like in here reports, player, Stratomatic report. You can see your targets, how many times you're targeting each player, like how much Steven
oh,
Alexander
okay,
here got two. And all I have is one game for you, but Alexander got it, and you can see the double team percentage by receiver. So like which receiver is getting the brunt of it, if any, or if
yeah.
it's
I gotta
spread
start
around.
maybe looking around at more of these things.
Hmm. Because that's an interesting over 4 games. I mean, that's not a small sample size. That's a 22 is a pretty big number. Interesting. Well, your team is not an 0-4 team. I expect it to be back, but you dug yourself a hole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was hoping that this was going to be a game. I thought I was on the road to winning it. I thought things were going well for me, and then like say then it kind of slipped apart. So
Yeah. All right. Well, tough
Mhm.
one. Any other comments?
No. Oh, it looks like on past plays I was looking at Falk and he's was double teamed correct 4 out of 15 times or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
27% of all passes.
Mm-hmm. So he's getting some attention.
And
Well,
then
interesting.
and then tumors the same amount,
Mm-hmm.
27% on
Mm-hmm.
all passes.
Big number.
Hey,
And
one thing
Hilliard's
I've
good, right?
seen happen a little in this league that I feel like I don't really like it. It feels like a little bit unfair, and I know some leagues have prohibited it, but every once in a while somebody is triple teaming, and that seems like a little bit too strong to me.
Triple teaming. What do you mean by triple teaming?
Double teaming three people at one time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, it does leave open the flat passes, but there's
it does.
sometimes where if it's like it's like a big gamble to go for a flat pass when you need a lot of yardage. I mean, it really is like really hard to overcome that double teaming three receivers when like late in the game and you need a lot of yards or it's fourth down or whatever.
Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, I the double teaming. I mean, some teams are just massive double team teams, and knowing that going in, for me, I definitely increase my flat and long passes both typically.
But what about three people at one time? Do you feel like that's excessive or not? Do you feel like it's
I'm okay
unfair?
with it. No,
You're
I don't
okay
think
with
it's
it?
unfair. I'm okay with it in concept. Um, you gotta have solutions for that, and
It
sometimes
just
it's
seems
difficult.
a little too powerful.
But I mean, it's like, for example, you know, you've got you've got the weapons to counteract it
Right.
because you've got Sellers and Falk back there. So if guys are using their linebackers to leave Sellers and Falk uncovered, they can get big yards, get strong flat pass.
Yeah.
I mean, those are, and so you can also take Sellers deep uncovered in theory. I imagine he's not getting the attention of the free safety very often. Maybe
No.
Falk is, so they'll double team Falk with the safety and then use the linebacker on the receivers, and that leaves Sellers. That leaves some stuff for Sellers to get.
In the
Yeah.
3 games, Sellers has caught 3 balls for 109 yards.
Hmm.
So he's gone long a couple times with 36.3 average.
Yep. He's a weapon. That guy's a
Yep.
weapon. I tell you, he's a unicorn in the set. I wish I had him. I wish Falk could go deep. You know that. I mean, I've said that for.
Yeah, that'd be a
Oh,
big difference.
it would be a huge difference. I tell you what, it would, because in playing your team, here and there, solitaire or elsewhere, it's if Falk could go deep, he would get a ton of attention. He's already getting attention. It seems without it.
Right,
Man,
right.
that's and he should. It bothers me that he doesn't have it. But alrighty, well, appreciate you popping on,
Yeah. Thanks for the broadcast.
and we'll see you on another broadcast soon. I hope.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Have a good night. Thank
Bye.
you, buddy. Okay, bye now. All right, that wraps it up. Pittsburgh takes it over Lawrence's Wamia Wind. We'll see you on a broadcast soon.
Big opening for Tony Dorsett. Look out, he's got great speed. 99 yards and a half. Dorsett down the sideline. Stays in bounds. Can you believe that?